Love, at its core, is one of the most powerful emotions we experience as human beings. It can bring joy, fulfillment, and a sense of connection with another person. But the emotional dynamics within a relationship are not always constant. Love, like any other emotion, can ebb and flow. There are times when one partner may no longer feel the same intense love or connection, and they begin to emotionally pull away. Recognizing these signs early can help you make informed decisions about your relationship, giving you the space to either address the issues or move on if necessary. The emotional distance in a relationship doesn't always happen suddenly or dramatically. Sometimes the change is gradual and subtle, making it hard to pinpoint exactly when things started to shift. However, there are early warning signs that can help you realize that the person you're with may no longer be emotionally invested. Here are 5 key signs to watch for that indicate someone might be emotionally pulling away from you. 1. Communication becomes minimal and uninvolved. Communication is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. It is how you share your feelings, resolve conflicts, and stay connected to one another. In a thriving relationship, partners communicate regularly, listen attentively, and engage deeply in meaningful conversations. However, when someone is starting to emotionally pull away, the most noticeable change is often a decline in communication. In the early stages of a relationship, there's often excitement and eagerness to share thoughts and feelings. But when a partner is no longer emotionally invested, they may begin to withdraw from meaningful exchanges. The conversations become shorter, less engaging, and more surface level. Where once you could talk for hours, now conversations may feel like a mere exchange of pleasantries. They might stop texting you throughout the day, or only respond with brief, impersonal replies like, "I'm good" or "I'm busy." If you find yourself doing most of the talking or reaching out first, it's a clear indication that the person is emotionally pulling away. Communication, which once felt effortless, starts to feel like an obligation. In some cases, they may also avoid certain topics that they once happily engaged in with you. They stop asking how you're feeling or how your day went, and their responses to your updates seem detached or uninterested. The silence can be deafening, leaving you feeling more isolated and confused about the status of your relationship. 2. Physical affection diminishes. Physical touch is one of the most direct ways we communicate affection and love. Simple gestures like holding hands, hugging, kissing, or even just sitting close to one another can foster intimacy and strengthen the emotional bond between partners. However, when someone begins emotionally pulling away, the first thing you might notice is a decline in physical affection. In a healthy relationship, affection is spontaneous and frequent. But when love starts to fade, the gestures of closeness and affection begin to dwindle. You might notice that they stop initiating hugs or kisses, or their touch feels less affectionate. Where once they were eager to be physically close to you, they may now pull away, preferring more space. The withdrawal of affection can also take more subtle forms. For instance, they may stop touching you in public or choose not to kiss you goodnight. Physical affection is often an indicator of emotional closeness, and a lack of it can signal that your partner is no longer emotionally invested in the relationship. As their physical touch becomes less frequent, the emotional distance between you also widens. 3. They're more detached and less interested in your life. When someone loves you, they show genuine interest in your life, your feelings, and your experiences. They ask how you're doing, listen intently to your stories, and make an effort to engage with what's important to you. This emotional investment is a hallmark of love and intimacy. But when someone begins emotionally pulling away, they start to lose interest in the details of your life. You may notice that they no longer ask about your day or seem to care about what's going on in your world. Conversations about your hopes, dreams, and personal struggles become less frequent or more one-sided. If you try to talk about something meaningful to you, they may brush it off or change the subject. Instead of offering support or empathy, they seem distant or even indifferent. This emotional detachment can leave you feeling unimportant or invisible. You might find yourself constantly talking to a wall, sharing your thoughts and feelings without receiving any emotional return. Over time, this lack of engagement can make you feel emotionally disconnected from your partner, as though you're living parallel lives instead of sharing one together. 4. They start prioritizing other people or activities over you. In the early stages of a relationship, you and your partner are likely to spend a lot of time together. As the relationship deepens, both of you may still have separate interests, but the shared moments and attention given to each other are what keep the relationship strong. However, when someone begins to emotionally pull away, they start to prioritize other people, activities, or responsibilities over spending time with you. You might notice that your partner is constantly busy with work, hanging out with friends or making plans with family, all while excluding you from their social circle. The plans you used to make together now seem like an afterthought. They might cancel or reschedule plans with you at the last minute, or they may stop inviting you to events they know you would enjoy. This shift in priorities can be particularly hurtful because it makes you feel less valued. Instead of being an important part of their life, you become a secondary option. The more they pull away, the more you might feel like you're competing for their attention. When someone starts emotionally detaching, they often begin to direct their energy toward other people or personal pursuits, leaving you wondering where you fit into the picture. 5. They become more critical or distant in conflict. Every relationship has its fair share of disagreements and conflict. How a couple handles these situations can reveal a lot about the health of the relationship. In a loving partnership, disagreements are opportunities for growth and understanding. Both people work together to resolve the issue, communicate openly, and find common ground. But when someone is emotionally pulling away, their response to conflict may change. Instead of being willing to work through problems, your partner may become more distant or critical during arguments. They might shut down entirely, refusing to engage or discuss the issue at hand. They may avoid confrontation altogether, giving you the cold shoulder or walking away mid-conversation. In some cases, they may resort to passive-aggressive comments or criticisms, highlighting your flaws instead of seeking a resolution. This change in how conflict is handled can leave you feeling unsupported and rejected. The person who once wanted to resolve conflicts and strengthen the relationship now seems more focused on creating distance or avoiding the issue. This emotional withdrawal during moments of tension indicates that the bond you once shared is weakening, and your partner is no longer invested in finding solutions together. How to respond when you notice these signs. Recognizing these early signs of emotional withdrawal can be a wake-up call. It's natural to feel a sense of confusion, sadness, or frustration, but knowing what's happening gives you the power to decide how to move forward. Here are some steps you can take if you begin to notice these signs in your relationship. 1. Have an honest conversation. When emotional distance starts to creep in, the best course of action is to communicate openly with your partner. Let them know how you're feeling and ask them about their own emotions and experiences. Sometimes there may be external factors affecting their behavior, such as stress at work, family issues, or personal insecurities. Open dialogue can help uncover the root cause of the distance and give both of you the chance to address it. 2. Take time for self-reflection. In some cases, the emotional withdrawal may not be entirely one-sided. Take some time to reflect on your own feelings and what you need from the relationship. Are you still emotionally invested in your partner? Have your own needs changed? Self-reflection can give you clarity about whether the relationship is still worth pursuing. 3. Respect your own emotional needs. If the emotional distance continues despite efforts to communicate and reconnect, it may be time to consider whether this relationship is healthy for you. Constantly seeking affection, communication, and engagement from someone who is emotionally withdrawn can be draining. It's important to recognize your own worth and set boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. If the relationship is no longer meeting your needs, it might be time to walk away. 4. Seek support from trusted friends or professionals. Navigating a relationship where someone is emotionally pulling away can be isolating. Seek advice and support from trusted friends or a therapist. They can offer perspective, emotional support, and guidance as you navigate your feelings and decide what steps to take. The early signs that someone is emotionally pulling away can be subtle, but recognizing them early allows you to address the situation before it leads to greater emotional harm. Relationships require effort, understanding, and emotional investment from both partners. If you notice these signs, it's essential to communicate openly, assess your own emotional needs, and determine whether the relationship is still fulfilling. Remember, you deserve to be in a relationship where both people are equally committed to each other's happiness and growth. If your partner is no longer emotionally invested, it may be time to consider what's best for your own emotional well-being and take steps toward healing and growth.